All right, today I've got for you a fun way to eat your acorn squash. This recipe is very simple, and I think a lot of people get stuck when they're trying to eat healthier, figuring out what kind of carbs they can eat. They just starve themselves and don't eat any, when in reality, squash, pumpkin, fruits, all of those are carbs, quinoa, and those are healthier carbs. And the main reason why is because they're still in their whole food package. So that means they have all of their naturally occurring fiber, plenty of nutrients, minerals, vitamins, all kinds of good things. Where if you're normally just eating refined or highly processed, ultra processed carbs like white rice, your white flours, pastas, things like that, those are stripped of a lot of their nutrients. So they tend to have virtually zero fiber and they're kind of just empty calories. So that's one of the main differences. So this is just giving you another way to eat some healthy carbs. It's going to be filling, tastes good, and it's just like a fun little mix things up because it's in the bowl. If you're feeling lazy, you can still follow this recipe and just mix everything together. You don't have to eat it inside of the bowl. Let's get to it. We're starting with the acorn squash. Always wash your produce before you use anything. You don't know where it's been, just extra precaution, even though we're gonna cook it. From there, you're gonna cut it in half, scoop out the seeds. Again, like some of the other videos I've been doing lately, you can roast them or just toss them if you don't feel like doing it. Compost, where they might grow. I should look that up to see if they would grow in compost. And then now, once you have your two halves, you're going to flip those upside down, or the side with the hole facing the bottom of the pan, and drizzle a little bit of oil on top. This is just to prevent it from drying out. If you want, I kind of slid it around a little just to help prevent it from getting stuck once it's done cooking. And the main thing here is I'm using a non-refined oil. I like to use avocado oil. And you're just gonna put that in the oven, let it cook. If you want the exact temperature, length, the whole recipe, I have that in the cookbook that's on my website. It's a whole PDF with like 50 plus recipes in there. So grab that if you want some healthy ideas. And real quick, if you're not really eating a lot of squash, you probably should. It's a good source of potassium and fiber. And most of us, all of us, are probably somewhat deficient in potassium. And I just say that because it's like, you're not gonna get sent to the hospital, but once you start eating a lot more potassium, you just feel differences in your body and your energy levels. And it's one of those things that you just really don't know until you've experienced it. And I keep telling myself I have to eat just way more potassium. So just throwing that out there. And let's prep the quinoa. I have my own little thing I like to do here because I never like to measure it. Normally just follow the packaging instructions, but I feel like the ratio on it is a little off. I like to add my quinoa to my pot, fill it with water. I don't measure how much. I just get the water a little bit above the level of the quinoa, throw it on to boil. And once that starts to boil and reduce down, I keep checking it. You can see here in the video, eventually it's gonna get to this point where the water is low enough and enough of it has started to become absorbed and it's the right temperature that you start to get these little like bubbles. It looks almost like molten lava, or I don't even know, something like that. From that point, you can cover it, put it on a simmer, or turn it off completely and just put it on the side. I find that just kind of magically works. And that's just what I've been doing for the last few years. Because again, it's nice to not have to get out a measuring cup or another cup just to be like 1 cup, 2 cup. But if you're someone who likes structure, just follow what the package says. Or I did write it in the cookbook so you can get it there too. So we're gonna season this up. I actually really enjoy ground lamb. Make sure you're getting like pasture raised, grass fed, just better quality overall and better for the environment, more sustainable. But I feel like sometimes I'm always eating the same things over and over again. Like it tends to be lamb and salmon. And I just wanted to mix it up. I never really do ground turkey. I'm not a big fan of it, but I was just like, you know what? Let me just switch it up. Got some like no antibiotics, no, all the buzzwords, but you know, like grass fed and pasture raised, all of that stuff. I feel like that was a long way to say I'm using ground turkey instead of lamb. I just felt like switching it up. But the spices, I'm still going for what I normally would for a lamb. You could do this with ground beef as well, or any other ground meat. Or if you wanted a vegan version, you mix the quinoa with some beans, a little bit of nuts and seeds. You're gonna get a good amount of protein in there and still some good flavors. But I'll do a vegan version later for you guys. But yeah, for the spices, we're using some parsley, some cumin, salt, pepper, garlic, onion, a little bit of paprika. I like some coriander and just like a little bit of nutmeg in there. You're kind of hitting some of those, I guess you could say, like Mediterranean flavors. And while that's cooking, I'm gonna prep the greens. I think every meal, ideally, you should be having some kind of dark leafy green or cruciferous vegetable or avocado. For this, I've just got some spinach. If you don't have a salad spinner, they're amazing. Use it. It's a great way to just make sure you're washing your veggies and they're still dry, so you can do something with them without it completely just becoming super soggy and making your dish really watery. Takes up some space, but it's kind of fun to use. I like to rinse it 2 or 3 times, make sure there's no sand or other little dirty bits in there. Give it a good spin. It's going to dry it, and then just put that to the side. If you want, you can kind of tear this up or chop it depending on the texture you want. But by this time, your quinoa should be done. Your ground turkey or lamb should also be done. And I'm moving that ground turkey into another container so I can kind of scrape up some of those bits. And the way I'm going to do that is adding a bunch of cashews first. I gave them a little bit of a crush. I probably could have done more. It's not a big deal, but try it. My goal here is to get them just a little bit toasted. I give them a little shake, just check it every minute or two and just keep flipping it around until you start to see some brown bits happening. And this is where we're gonna throw in our freshly chopped onions, spinach, and lemon juice. And this is where we're really gonna start to deglaze everything. And this is gonna make this little mixture just so umami and so savory. The heat from the pan is also gonna help cook the spinach just a little bit. We don't wanna overcook it so it wilts. We wanna keep a lot of the nutrition in there, but we also still wanna heat it up. That way, you know, if there was anything dirty on there, you kind of clean it a little bit and it reduces down. If it's raw spinach, it's just very fluffy and it's not very easy to eat, especially in a recipe like this. So I just want that vibrant green to come out and I want it to just compact a little bit. From there, you can add in the cooked quinoa, add in your ground turkey or lamb, a little bit of olive oil, give it a good mix. Your acorn squash should have been done already. Flip them over so they can cool a little bit, because I've made the mistake of making these before and forgetting how much heat they actually retain and not actually being able to eat it. So as soon as those are done, take them out of the oven, flip them so they can cool while you're prepping everything else. I'm gonna use those as the bowl. You could just scrape out the insides and just mix everything together. It's gonna be good regardless. Whenever I make this, that night, or you know, if I'm doing a video for you guys, I do it in the bowl, but whatever's left over, I just scrape that out, because the day after, I just want my food to be super easy. You can eat the skin if you want. I think on this recipe, it's a little bit more tougher, so it will be some additional fiber, but I think it almost degrades the quality a little bit just because you notice it while you're eating it versus some other recipes I have where the skin really cooks through. So enjoy, eat more squash. It's fall right now. I think it's like September, maybe October by the time this video comes out. It's a great carb source and just they're delicious. There's so many different kinds. I'm gonna have a few more recipes coming for you guys using different squashes, so keep a lookout.